Hello everybody, Lydia Alverson here, back with another video, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate for you guys the Voice Memos app for the Mac. This was ported over to the Mac with the release of macOS Mojave. For those of you guys that have been longtime iOS users, you probably remember the Voice Memos app being on the iPhone for as long as I remember for sure. I know it was on the iPods for quite some time, and now it is on the Mac. And with the release of iOS 12 and macOS Mojave, Voice Memos has gotten a huge overhaul. Well, not really huge, but it has definitely turned from a simple audio recorder to a full-fledged audio recorder. So what's cool with this one, now you can actually edit your recordings and actually replace audio that you think, for example, say you made a mistake and you wanted to kind of record over that, you can actually play back what you want to replace, and instead of the pause button, you actually get a replace button. And like I stated, you can pause and resume your recordings like you normally will. The main difference with the iOS version, however, is you actually have to enable the full screen mode, so that way you can use all the available features. But for the Mac, it's all there for you, so there's nothing you don't need to worry about enabling anything. So, without further ado, let's get started. So I'm currently in the Voice Memos app now, and I'm going to just show you what's here. Now, I'm not actually going to record a voice memo in this demo because I am using a screen recorder, so I don't know if this is going to cause conflict. I'm afraid to actually try it. So, let's see what we have here. So first things, we have a toolbar, which unfortunately there's nothing in here. So if I VO right, or Control Option right arrow.
Search text field, press Control Option space to begin editing. Search.
There's your search field.
Recordings table, scroll area.
And these are all my recordings. I won't go in here.
Record button.
That should be record button. It's just Alex being odd.
Click the record button to start a voice memo.
And there's your little footer there that lets you know that, that tells you to click the record button to record. It's that simple.
Click the record button to start a voice memo.
And, let's see. So let me just show you what's here in terms of preferences. Now, the preferences on here, on the Voice Memos app for Mac, are just about the same as iOS. So, I'm going to go ahead and hit Command Comma to launch this.
Preferences. Now in Voice Memos preferences, clear deleted.
Okay, so the first item we have here, just like on iOS, clear deleted voice memos. Basically, it's asking you, how long do you want these things to be on your device before they get rid of them?
Immediately. Pop-up button.
And by default, it's set for 1 day, but I have it set to immediately. Let me show you the available options here. So we have...
Menu 5 items checkmark immediately.
Immediately.
After 1 day.
After 1 day.
After 7 days.
After a week.
After 30 days.
After a month.
Never.
And never, which means you would have to manually clear them out.
Checkmark immediately.
I currently have that set to immediately. I'm going to go ahead and hit escape to close this.
Closing menu immediately. Pop-up button.
Alright, let's move on.
Audio quality. Lossless. Pop-up button. Audio quality. Lossless. Pop-up button.
So, this is basically how your recordings are going to come out. So, you have...
Menu 2 items checkmark. Lossless.
Lossless, which I currently have set.
Compressed.
And the compressed file. Now, I decided to set this to lossless, and they just added this year. Now, do keep in mind, one thing to make sure about with the lossless file is it's going to take up a little bit of space. It's going to take up a little bit more space than the compressed file, audio file. So I believe your for file extensions, your compressed I believe is WAV, and lossless I believe is M4A.
Closing menu. Lossless. Pop-up button. Location-based naming. Unchecked. Checkbox.
Now the last setting here is location-based naming. I currently have this unchecked, and I believe with the iOS app, when you first launch Voice Memos, if you upgraded to iOS 12, it would of course ask you to enable location services if you wanted it to, or if you wanted it. But I personally did not want that, so of course I didn't allow that. But of course you can turn it on at any time with settings. So I currently have this setting unchecked. By default, this is checked. If you have location services enabled for this app. Now with the iOS, like I mentioned, if you wanted to enable that setting, you would have to have location services enabled for the Voice Memos app for iOS. That's all there is to it, really. So let me go ahead and close these preferences real quick.
Now in Voice Memos window, click the record button to start a voice memo.
Alright, and that's all there is to it. I'm probably going to do a follow-up video sometime in the near future. So,
Click the record button to start.
So that way I can actually record a voice memo and actually demonstrate this a little bit more. But this is just a quick look at voice memos for macOS. And like I stated before, what you're going to experience on iOS is just about the same. You're going to have the same feature set, except in order for you to enable that, you have to hit the full screen button. And I believe it's going to be in the upper left-hand corner. I could be wrong. Sorry for sighted viewers, but I believe, yeah, some sort of a full screen button. So when you start voice memos, it's just you're going to have that simple audio recording. And that simple audio recorder, but if you want like more of the feature set, you do have to enable it by hitting the full screen button there. So that's all there is to it. Let me go ahead and quit out of here.
Finder, desktop, Macintosh, menu extra.
So I hope you guys enjoy this little demonstration. Like I stated earlier, I will do a follow-up video sometime in the future. So if you like what you see, please feel free to like and subscribe, and also please feel free to share these videos. It really does help a lot, guys. Thank you so much. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, see you in the next one.